All right, we should be back. Sorry about that. Louie and I just started talking TV for a while, but it
Yes.
was very nice.
It was good. There were spoilers happening. There was
And also for chat,
energy, heat. Yeah, it's good.
I'm getting the bottle. I'm getting the bottle of Malort out for the interview.
Malort.
Oh,
Taking some sips of Malort for this Louie interview.
This has become a thing on our channel in part because of Robin.
Oh, in huge, massive part because of Jaded December. But yes,
Yeah.
there is no exclamation point Malort, chat. You're fine. Louie, thank you so much for coming on and playing some Melee with us. But are you ready to actually get interviewed?
yes.
Let's do this. It's been a long time coming. Hold on, my headphones are on backwards. Well, I fixed my headphones, Daisy. You want to do the honors right up front?
I sure do. Yeah, your headphones are on backwards. I'm seeing that, and it does look silly. So I'm glad you're fixing it. Louie, on the show, you've been chatting with me and Dom. We've been emailing, we've been talking, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But what you may not know, what the chat may not know, is that there's a ton of people who also help us on the show, who are in the background and do things like help us curate questions for our interview. We call them very affectionately the interview sleuths. Those sleuths are wonderful, fabulous, genius, fantastic, specific.
Ooh,
Categorically impressive. I don't know. There are many amazing things. And they're amazing specifically because they help us curate the questions that we will read to you and to our other guests in the past. So if somebody or you hears a question that you like, that is funny, that you go like, wow, that was a good question or whatever, don't think me and Dom, think the sleuths.
Thank the sleuths, indeed.
All right. Thank the sleuths.
So thanks for thank you for the starting that off. Again, we need a sleuth emote. Emote.
We honestly do, and I think it should be a sloth sleuth, so it'd be cute.
That's interesting. I like where your head's at. Louie, let's get started. And this first question, which Daisy appreciates how we worded this too, but there's a fun phenomenon when you know enough folklorists. And that's that you actually have a really good unprompted working definition of folklore. And Louie, you said folklore was the stories of a community in your like pre-interview. I love that definition. Yeah. I love that definition. So my question to start is, if folklore is the stories of a community, what are some of the fundamental stories of the Melee community, what they tell about themselves?
I think we started with some of those actually when we were playing earlier, which is
that's true. We kind of touched on them.
When you started doing that, I was like, oh, yeah. he's getting to his interview questions already.
No, I mean I can expand.
Do it.
I mean, a few things come to mind. The first one is, how did you decide on your main? So tell me that story. How did you pick it? I think we take that for granted, and I think, especially in the Melee community or any sort of FGC community of just trying to get to know people, we can talk about a lot of superficial stuff about the game, which it really prevents you from getting to know people. And I think that's a really fun question to get to know somebody. So how did you decide on your main? How long you been playing? So when did you first start? Although sometimes I think that question is really just trying to size somebody up.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, when somebody asks me that, I kind of like, come on, man. I've been playing for a long time, right? So I think that's an interesting story. What were some of the first tournaments you went to? Let's see. I think, are you thinking on like an individual level or as a Melee community? Like if I were to tell somebody about the story of Melee?
Both. I made a note.
Sure.
Follow up on either narratives or worldview, and I think that's what you're getting at. I think that's what you're getting at.
Yeah. So on the individual level, it's who's your main? When did you start playing? What are some of the first tournaments you went to? It's like, what are some of your best experiences? Like the times you placed. What majors have you been to? Because those tend to be a lot of fun. But on like a community level, like 30, 40 years from now, when my son finds this dusty disc in our attic, he says, "What's this? Why is it smaller than the rest of the disc?
Why is it so small?
Why is it smaller than the rest of the disc?" And I'll pull out my lunch pail of a GameCube and sit down, son. Let me tell you a story. And part of that story of the Melee community will be about how we used to play on these old TVs, and that even when LED 0 for 1 millisecond monitors came out, we continued to play on these, and we came from what we called a grassroots community where we really had to hunker together and put on these tournaments without much support from the company itself. And yet, we still were some of the biggest, widely shown and viewed tournaments on being streamed. And had some of the widely most popular gamers who earn huge figures now in all of FGC. And so it's just a game that brought people together, that lasted for so long, has a community that exists, and despite adversity, continues to be around.
Something that doesn't come across playing like Slippy with Daisy is like the how used you are to lugging around a TV. You're like schlepping your own TV around to play Smash. Yeah.
Yes.
I almost want to like elaborate on that and mention the like generational component to it as well, like this transition from like everybody having their own game console or having a game console accessible and like moving that around as part of that, the labor that goes into that something that forms that collective like grassroots experience. I think that's fascinating.
Daisy, I'm even getting more specific. You don't even know how specific that is because like Louie was playing Melee in 2005 and I didn't get into it. I was a doc kid. I didn't get into it until the documentary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there are like even generations within generations like that.
No, nobody looks at a CRT the way I do.
Oh my God.
When I see a CRT at a garage sale, I'm like, man, that's a nice looking TV.
This is some nice tubes.
It's got the ports on the front.
Oh yeah.
It's got a handle on the back. It has a remote and a DVD player.
Oh boy.
And it's smaller size. Oh my gosh. I once went to a garage sale and I asked the guy how much he wanted for it. And he's like, you can have it. And I said, you don't know how much I would have paid for this. I took it with a big smile on my face. And it's true, you know, and Daisy, you know, even kind of going off of that, you're talking about consoles and generational type stuff. When Xbox was out with Halo and people were doing online gaming, you know, playing competitively, you couldn't do that with Melee.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to play that level of competition with that many people, you had to lug your gigantic TV and lunchbox of a console to a place and power strips and all of this to play that kind of skill level. Whereas when Xbox Live came out and all of that, you could jump on and play Halo competitively and play that way and have a headset on. And not until the last 3 years did we have online Melee, you know? Maybe like I think Slippy really popularized it, but before then we had some rudimentary stuff in the last maybe 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that's super recent.
Louie, chat wants to know, wants you to answer your own question. How did you decide on your main?
That's interesting because through all the different Smash games, I had different mains.
Mm-hmm.
I never had the same one. So 64, I played Kirby. Melee, I picked up Sheik, and I think I always had Sheik. I think what I liked about Sheik was that you could change to Zelda. I thought that was kind of cool.
Best move in the game. Zelda's down.
Yeah, that was OP. I wish I could say that there was some pivotal moment, but just kind of stuck with me. And I played Jigglypuff for a little bit, but I really ended up liking Sheik. And then let's see, Brawl. I played. I mained Wario, and then I'll be honest, I kind of skipped Smash 4. I'm sorry.
I've seen your Jigglypuff in Smash 4.
Smash 4 would be Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Smash 4 would be Jigglypuff. And then Ultimate is King K. Rool. And I like my King K.
You're
Rool.
missing one. You're missing one.
And then,
Lucas and PM, right?
Lucas and PM, baby.
Yeah.
Lucas and PM. Oh, I love Lucas. Yeah.
Louie, so what was your story to go from player to organizer, and how did that kind of change your relationship to the game?
Oh, you know, when I think about that question, I think about, and this is gonna sound so cheesy, but it's so true. Is Melee and that community, the community you were part of, got me through my PhD program.
Yeah.
And you know, I had my wife with me, Emily, and she offered support in a different way. Um, but my community was the Melee, the Smash community.
Why do you think
And
we do
so-
Folkwise, Louie?
It's helping me so much. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it, having a community that you can game with. I mean, anyway, continue.
Yeah,
yes.
it's someone
yes,
they're doing their
affirmation,
PhD. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so going to Indiana, I wanted to make sure that I was in a community because I know I'm an extrovert. I like to meet people, and at the same time that was happening, I always say I'm an OG kid, but also a dot kid.
Mhm.
The dot came out, and I was like, "What is this? People are still playing?" Because I fell out of it.
Yeah.
when
Oh, I
doing
didn't
my
realize.
undergrad and my master's, and I was like, "I can't believe people are still playing this." Figured out my old Smashboards login, found some people, started playing, and that's it. All kind of history from there. Well, we started playing, and we just kept getting bigger and bigger. And in our previous conversation, Dom, I told you that I you know, every kid's dream. I worked at GameStop,
Mhm.
and I think I've always kind of had leadership qualities, you know, through various mentors in my life, people who cared about me, on top of me being kind of my personality style. So that early experience of hosting GameStop tournaments kind of translated to Indiana when I was like, wow, like this is cool. Like we have more people, we're having fun, and we're good. We're getting better. And what I always say when you're building a community is you need not only people who are excited about the game, but you need people who are willing to actually do things. So people can talk about like, oh, we should do a tournament, but you need people to actually do something.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need people to like give direction. Well, I have no problem doing that. So I was like, hey, let's think about doing a tournament. And there was something about seeing people get excited, having a leadership role of organizing that was really fun to me. It didn't ever really feel like work.
Yeah.
It felt like work when it was underappreciated. But that didn't happen too much of the time. Most of the time, people were very appreciative, and I think I couldn't have done it without people who also shared excitement in it and help me build up these other tournaments. And so this is a long answer to your question of like when did I decide? It's just because the community helped decide that for me.
Yeah.
We have a lot more people, and it's kind of like, what are we gonna do next? Well, let's do a bi-weekly. Okay. Oh my gosh, we have like 50 people here. Let's find a bigger venue. Okay, we're outgrowing this venue. Like people are doing tournaments now. Why can't we do our own tournament? And then Kilroy.
Mhm.
You know, Kilroy started. No, Phil.
Oh, Full Bloom one
started.
Yeah.
Full Bloom one, and then Kilroy.
Full Bloom one in the Frangipani room.
And Japani room, baby.
That's right.
And then and that was a good tournament, but I think Kilroy 1 was I think the first really, really well organized, highly attended tournament.
Yeah. Kilroy Run, I remember like having a lot of people from elsewhere in the state that traveled.
Well, what helped was I think when we did Full Bloom 1, people were like, "Whoa, like India, you guys are doing something,"
Mhm.
and then all the other organizations in Indiana, Purdue, Evansville, all of them were like, "Well, let's all get in on this." So we created the circuit.
The circuit. Complete the circuit.
Complete the circuit.
That's
You
right.
remember that?
I remember.
Complete the circuit. That was our tagline. And it worked. People traveled to the other tournaments to gain points. And I think ours was I don't think ours was the finale. It was one of the bigger ones.
Mhm.
And people came to our tournament. And that was one of our bigger ones. We had some top names. That's when I met Vro and Juna.
Mhm.
And Juna and Vro, I remember Vro pulled me aside and he's like, in very Vro way. And he and I became closer over time. But if you know Vro, it takes a little bit of time to warm up to him. Great guy though. And he was like, hey, you got to do this monthly. In hindsight, it's because he was really trying to get Melee every day off the ground, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
But he saw the potential even then.
Louie, what do you think your crowning achievement as a tournament organizer is?
Let's see. like I have these like flashes of things that come to mind.
Oh yeah.
When I think about your question, I immediately think about like stats.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to go with the heart, I would say just the community that we made.
Yeah.
I think about when my last days in Bloomington and that photo that we all took and I was sitting in the middle there, and from left to right, the whole room was filled with all of us, probably 100 people,
Yeah.
Melee and Smash. And I thought, and somebody said something to me. I'm sorry, I forget who it was. Somebody whispered it in my ear when I was about to sit down. We're about to take that photo, and they said, "It's because of you. This is like we're all here."
Oh.
Like warmed my heart. And so, that right there of just seeing all the different age ranges, all the different skill levels, all the different backgrounds, all the different nerds, you know, and let's just endorse the stereotype for a moment. There are probably people in that group who don't have other friends, who they're looking for their community and they found it in us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? And we were a very welcoming community. I like to think so.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't heard anything else that somebody felt pushed out or anything like that. And so to know that we created such a welcoming, inclusive community was something that really stuck out to me. And to know, although freaking COVID changed this, unfortunately, to know that I could leave knowing that everything could continue.
It took an act of God to stop it. Yeah.
Right. Right, exactly. You know, it was Full Bloom 6 was about to happen, but
I had a ticket. I had a ticket to come fly out. Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna bring some Delaware people with me. Yeah.
I was gonna come too. And then I was happy to go without any involvement. In fact, I preferred it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's the crowning achievement. But from like the stats standpoint, I love just knowing that. I love telling people that Full Bloom 5, we teamed with Beyond the Summit. We peaked at 30,000 viewers.
Oh.
We are a major that was counted towards overall annual rankings for the top players in the world. They would put it.
They put the logo on the graphic. I still don't believe
on the
that.
Graphic.
Yeah.
Because our tournament was so important to rankings that they included it into that. We're an international tournament. We had players from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
We had players from Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
We had players from South America. We had players from Canada. Fly.
Oh, shouts to
Indiana. Come to our tournament.
Yeah.
Shout outs to None. Shout outs to None.
He had a great run. AMSA. Oh, if you ask me what one of my favorite moments was, it was people getting text, like getting a text being like, dude, AMSA's on such a run. People I like hadn't got a text from in like 10 years watched Full Bloom, and they were like people I went to middle school with being like, dude, this AMSA run is insane. And I'm like,
right.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. Crazy. I have friends who know me as like, you know, they kind of know I'm in a Melee, and I remember they would message me like, dude, I was on Twitch and I just like saw you on Twitch like at like this big tournament, and I was like, oh yeah, it's just a little tournament that we do every year. Yeah. So that's good to it's awesome to know at the end of, you know, like I'm not immune to that. It's cool to know that we had some measure of success. I think that's cool.
Louie, I'm going to pivot away from a little more esports questions, get into actual some academia stuff here. But I have an idea, kind of sleuthing you, reading up on some of the things you study. That maybe the big overlap between folklore and psychology is the topic of day-to-day life. I think we both our fields have in common. And of course, folklore studies kind of the expressive culture of day-to-day life. But how does psychology understand day-to-day life experience?
Day-to-day life experiences are, I think, that word right there says it all, is experiences. Mm-hmm. They are things that we take in through our senses. They are information about the world around us. That make us also experience emotions, that help us understand who we are as people and the way we feel and ultimately how we act. But they are experiences that do not need to dictate our overall well-being, and that we ultimately still have autonomy over our life. We still have sayings and the things that we do, and that the experiences that we have, we I think a big struggle that we have in life is to have the discernment between those experiences that we have influence over and those that we do not. And I think pain inevitably comes from having difficulty in understanding the difference. So how we envision the world, the experiences we take in are just that. They're experiences. They don't have to define then how we approach the world. We decide after that what we do with it.
That's good. Daisy, you have anything to add on that?
I don't know. It was just I don't know if I have anything to add, but I think it's just really interesting to. It's almost like folklore is a method or like a way to either re-engage in that like expressive part of everyday life. You can kind of take ownership of some of that.
It's
and
a way to
engage,
express something day to day. Yeah.
It's a way to like do an action that can like help you feel more connected to a community, or to look at the things that you have been doing and notice what what you interpret or they say about your community that you've had up until this point. They're a good point of like reflection, like what does my family do, or what does my XYZ like work community do that makes me feel good or not good or whatever. What are we generating there? And so I feel like if the psychology piece is like centered on how we view and understand like ourselves and our roles in the world, then folklore is like a way to do an action based on that understanding. Maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow. Yeah,
I agree.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of
that's
off
good.
The cuff, but that's what
Daisy,
you're making me
I
think
knew
about.
you would have something to add. I knew Louie's answer, which by the way, chat said was very eloquent. I knew Louie's answer would tee you up for something good, Daisy. Louie, the next thing I want to ask though, a lot of people conceptualize video games as like something that'll rot your brain, but in your experience, well, how can video games be used positively as a tool for mental health?
Right. I want to comment on that comment first.
Do it, please.
I kind of made a phrase similar to that earlier, which is I find that comment just inherently not intelligent, and not helpful, and not useful at all. It's meant, that kind of comment, it's like this person is trying to sound profound, but it's not interesting and adds nothing to conversation. But they think they have an illusion that making some sort of comment that doing something a lot is bad is interesting. But it's like we already know doing something a lot is bad. So you inserting video games in the conversation is not adding anything fruitful to this conversation we're trying to have. Give me something of more substance. So that annoys me, obviously.
Yeah.
I think video. So I'll give that one little gram of something, which is sure anything in excess can be bad. I mean, we call those process behavior, shopping, gambling, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything that deters you from what's important in your life, that's not in line with your values and morals and things like that, responsibilities. Video games at its core are at its best when it brings people together. One of the best examples, I love saying that, and this is probably not recent anymore, was Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I went to a raid.
Folklorists love Pokemon Go.
When it came out. Not
Yes.
Actually, when raids started becoming a thing.
Oh, sure.
When I went to this raid, I didn't see any stereotypical gamer. I saw women in their 50s and 60s. I saw dads with their little daughters and sons. I saw business-looking people. It was and I was there with my wife. We were a married couple there, and we all came together in community to join in this game, and we talked, and we got to know each other, and we got to talk about the game and Pokemon, and to me, I was like, in that moment, I was thinking, how beautiful is it? This is gaming at its best.
Yeah.
Is when it brings people together. FGC, Melee, another great example, bringing people together, that we can bring this many people together. And now we go into a higher extreme, League of Legends brings thousands of people together.
Oh my God, yeah.
In stadiums, so we can cheer on, our favorite players and teams. So when we can build community together, video game is at its best. And so when I think about mental health and video games, I think about this is a tool, a device to help with people who are dealing with that social anxiety, who are dealing with that social isolation, who have difficulty communicating with others. And I've literally talked to people with this in therapy, especially in the communities that I work with at UCSD, is that how great is it that you have this great interest in video games, that when you go and talk to somebody new, guess what? You already have a shared experience. So it starts with that, but chances are you have other things that are of interest as well. Start with the shared experience, and from there you can find that people aren't as different as you think they are. And so that's what I think about video games and mental health and bringing people together, and it could be a great way to provide healing for people who are otherwise socially anxious. And I could talk about it in terms of depression too, but anxiety and all of that I think is something that I think plagues a lot of people, and gaming can help with that.
I think you nailed that one, Louie. Daisy, you agree?
Thank you. Robin thinks League is toxic. Though,
Oh,
so.
Robin also said, can confirm Bayonetta rotted my brain.
Well, yeah, I think that it's not Bayonetta that's the problem. I think it's the horniness.
Okay. Louie wants to show this interview to his people. Come on, Daisy.
Oh my God, sorry.
Oh, you want to get it?
Cut it out.
Louie, Daisy, you want to get in? Oh, no, sorry. Go, Daisy.
Oh, I just wanted to add that I think your example of Pokemon Go is good, and it's one that we've returned to on the show, and folklorists like to talk about a lot, because I think it's an easy example of a really accessible kind of game that I don't know, when that came out, I finally went like, oh God, they found out that folklore can be corporatized in a way, like the community can become a tool of monetization. Because part of which is like it's not a bad strategy, and it's going to happen anyway. It was going to happen, and it has happened in different spaces.
But even so, like I feel like if Pokemon Go finds ways to break away from that corporatization every year, just like
Melee
raid Discord servers, or like you think Niantic anticipate any of that? You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, yeah, just like Melee or other kinds of like esports tournaments. Like obviously, once it becomes a tournament, this becomes a money making thing for people. But there's elements of it that are not, and that come from grassroots spaces too. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's like if
people
there's
organizing
anything,
their own groups. Yeah.
I guess what I'm hearing you say, Louie, is that, like if anything, between mental health and video games, it's like people think video games are an isolated activity or a game that you do a thing you do in isolation, and actually that's a very big misunderstanding of video games or how you can be a gamer, I guess.
Right. I would say it's I mean, I don't have data on this, but I would say it's almost it is not the norm that games are played in isolation now, because in fact, from a business perspective, it's more profitable for games to be made that you play with each other, and you know things like Fortnite, stuff like that, where you have to play with other people and you have to spend money in the game, so it's almost profitable for them to make it that you have to play with each other.
Louie, Daisy, you want to get in some fun questions?
Yes,
hey,
it's fun.
Oh
well, these are going to be like
is different. All your questions are fun.
Wait, what are we playing on Pogo here? Risk?
No,
yeah. What is this? What we play?
That's Katie's friend code.
I'm down. I like getting on Pogo sometimes.
I get on Pokemon Go there's a Pokestop at work, so I'll take it out at lunch. Yeah. Louie, for whatever reason, a bunch of your interview questions are about food. So let's get into the section of your questions that are about food.
I like food.
We know. Okay. We also here at Folkwise, here in folklore as an academic field, we love a superstition, and we don't mean like something irrational. We mean like the personal routine, the party routine that is strictly you, that is a part of your identity. And that being said, how did 6 a.m. pre-tournament Dennys start?
Thank you,
it's because the answer came immediate, and I wish it was sexier, but it's not. So, which is, hey, we all got to eat, but we also got a tournament to run. and we all got to get there early. What place is open
That can seat all of us.
that can seat all of us? Dennys. And so that's what it was, and Robin's got it right. Moon's over my hammy. Let's go.
I'm a Santa Fe skillet guy.
Dude, my mouth just watered a little bit thinking about that sweet
Moon's
cheddar.
over my hammy.
Moon's over my hammy.
Sweet cheddar.
I have to
Melted
imagine
over that ham.
Aston
It
answered
tastes-
that's what I
Dolores.
was like. What is the moon's over my hammy?
You've
mean?
never had a Moon's over my hammy?
I don't know
Best-
what you were talking
How long
about.
have you been a
Salmon.
vegetarian, Daisy?
Like
Wheat
10
bread.
years?
Wheat bread, egg, ham, melted cheddar cheese. Chef's
Moon's
kiss.
over my hammy.
The
The
moon
Denny's
is-
classic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Moon's over my
Moon's over
hammy.
my hammy.
Oh my
And a
god.
coffee.
Oh.
I've
I'm
been
ready,
to
I'm, ready to go,
Dennys.
I'm ready to go 16 hours that day.
Oh my God.
And you know what? That would be the only thing I would eat all day.
That's
'Cause
right.
You get that TO hunger or TO appetite where you eat and then you're just on the whole day.
Yeah.
And you don't realize
That's
You
you're
like-
just,
hungry.
you just drink enough coffee. You drink enough coffee that like you're like, okay, crew battle's done. Maybe I should eat some pizza. It's 9 o'clock. What the hell, you know?
That's like
Yeah.
Folkwise at the American Folklore Society conference.
Oh, we are like that.
Stay tuned for next month.
Yeah, next month when we're streaming the American Folklore Society,
We should try-
ask
we
us
should
if we've
do
eaten.
my family.
Get in
Ask
chat
us-
and ask
yeah,
if we've
ask us
eaten.
if we've eaten food. Oh my god. It's so good.
But you know what I loved about all of us?
Hmm.
Is everyone showed up.
That's right.
Love that.
That's early.
Everyone got there.
For
6
sweaty
a.m.
nerds,
for people who are like night people. Like
sweaty nerds about to, who play video games. Hey, we're all students at IU. It's a prestigious school, okay? So anyway, but sweaty nerds about to do an all-day tournament for all of us to show up that early. Dude,
That's right.
stoked.
That's
We
right,
were all
brother.
there.
that's right.
Daisy, you've got the next question.
Yeah, this was I got a message late. Daisy, do you have any California questions? So, I want to know if you can defend the San Diego burrito or not.
The San Diego burrito. Well, see, okay. There's a little bit of a cultural thing here that I think we're missing because there's no San Diego burrito. I think what you might be referring to is the California burrito, which
Yeah, it goes by a number of names. It's an enigma
well,
that
if
goes by
you're
many
from
names.
San Diego, nobody calls it the San Diego burrito.
That's so funny. Oh, I'm from Ventura, which is like not. It's north of LA, so it's different. But it's
I've
different.
never, and I would never have heard the opposite of an LA burrito. I've never heard that.
True. Yeah. I wonder now. You're making me think. Now I've seen on the internet people call it the San Diego burrito, and so I'm like, okay, I guess that's what it's called. But it's a totally Edic term. It's an outside term that people
Unless there's
apply
some-
to this burrito. I think we're talking about the same thing. Tell me what's in
Unless
it.
there is some place that sells and has coined a San Diego burrito.
Probably
I'm
in
going
LA.
there.
Probably a place in LA that goes, this is a San Diego. style."
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going there this weekend to taste it. But I mean, all I gotta say is we got the best burritos in the world. I mean, so
Yes.
so
There's a specific San Diego burrito that I'm referring to. Yes, that has French fries in it.
okay, so that is a California burrito.
You call that the California burrito? Okay.
That's fun. This is
No,
funny.
no.
So
This is
interesting.
funny.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Daisy. I don't call it the California
Oh.
burrito.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
called the California burrito. So
Fair
so
enough. I haven't lived
it's
there in a
called the
little
California
while.
burrito, and yes, there are French fries in it. It's not my go-to, but it's an excellent burrito.
Here we go.
Defendable, but not
I learned so
if
much.
somebody's gonna push you.
Yeah, I mean it's a great burrito. It's a great burrito. I'm more of a carne asada burrito, sour cream and cheese only.
That's
kind of guy.
Ooh, okay.
That's good. Yeah.
And then below that, probably coming in at number 3 would be a California burrito.
Mhm.
But a lot of people out of state love California burritos. There's something about the novelty of
is
French
that?
fries bringing in your burrito.
Which is funny because like French
yeah,
fries
excellent.
aren't like California.
What
right.
this
The
reminds me
burrito
of.
is, I guess.
What,
It's not. But like what? Yeah, it's so fascinating.
the exact thing that this reminds me of is that like what we call the euro in America is the Athenian euro. And in Greece, it's like, hey, is it an Athenian gyro or is it the Thessaloniki gyro with roast potatoes? You know?
Right.
Yeah, like over here, just like lamb meat tzatziki sauce is the gyro, but in Greece, that's
you're making me
Athens
hungry.
style. Yeah.
Making me hungry.
Okay, I got another one to make you hungry. You ready for this?
That's a good one.
And all I've been eating is dried mango.
Louie, what's your Jollibee order?
I wish I could say I've been to Jollibee a lot, but I haven't. We actually don't have one in San Diego. I think
really?
There's one in probably LA.
Yeah.
There's one in LA, I think. And there's actually one. The last time I went one is when I lived in Berkeley. Probably just the spaghetti. I love the spaghetti.
The spaghetti, the fast food spaghetti. People, Caitlin, when we were sleuthing, did not believe me.
I'm like,
yeah.
you can do fast food spaghetti?
At
That's
Jollibee,
not-
spaghetti and fried chicken, man. Come on.
Here's the thing.
it's not-
I love all fast food.
Mhm.
I love all fast food, and the spaghetti's great. Spaghetti's great.
I'm thinking like, okay, now I'm like, okay, fast food spaghetti. I'm like, but we're not in Cincinnati. I'm like, what place could possibly have fast food spaghetti that isn't Cincy Chili? Like,
Wasn't
just-
there
is it
that
just-
place in Bloomington that was like an Italian fast food place?
Fazoli's. We don't talk about Fazoli's.
oh. Oh.
Okay.
Fazoli-
I never went there.
Fazoli's, aka McDonatello's. No, that place is ass.
Okay. Good to know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're agreeing with me in chat. Cursed Fazoli's.
Is it still there? Do we know? Can we get confirmation if it's still there?
my
Yeah,
God.
we got Indiana people who can confirm if they're still at Fazoli's. That Steak and Shake where I wrote my dissertation is no more. Across the street from the Fazoli's.
How could that be? I love steak and shake.
I know. I wrote that Steak and Shake. A doesn't close. B, you can get one like cup of coffee, free refills, 99 cents. Like
Whoa.
that's how I wrote my dissertation. Just drinking a bottomless cup of coffee at Steak and Shake till 3 a.m.
Wait, literally at Steak and Shake?
At Steak and Shake is where I wrote like 60%. Steak and Shake in Dagwoods
The
is where I
one
wrote
in
my
the mall?
dissertation.
The
The
mall
one next to
area?
the mall, yeah. That's where I wrote my diss.
That sounds kind of sad to me, to be honest.
They love
Oh
me.
my god, Jaden's Steak and Shake got replaced by a Dunkin'.
Boo.
Boom.
It's Dunkin' now, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
Dunkin'.
you can't say donuts because it
What?
confuses
Louis-
the public.
Louie, that is sad until you remember I got my dissertation done, which is the only thing that friggin' matters.
Oh, heck yeah, it does.
As one of my
It's just, I see
professors
you-
said, as one of my professors says, no one's gonna care what your dissertation was like. They're just gonna remember that you got it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was totally like that, hunched over, 3 a.m. at a Steak and Shake in the mall, writing my
French
dissertation.
fried grease on your face.
I was 80% coffee,
Oh my god.
80% coffee, 20%
20%
dissertation.
love.
Well, there you go. I couldn't think of a better punchline. That was a better one.
We got 2 more things I want to touch on. The food talk is over unless we're going deep with some other stuff. But here's something I didn't remember to ask until like 20 minutes before the episode started. We're talking about Smash Legends. Can you tell us about the story of Last Stock Louie?
Sit down.
Sit
Comfortable.
Got
down.
you.
Chat, are you seated?
Everybody sit down. No listening on your headphones while you're on a run or something.
You know, it started with, I guess I'll give a more elaborate thing with crew battles.
Yeah,
So
crew
the crew
battles.
battle. Take a few of your best players. Just take a few of your players.
Mhm.
Go against another team with their players. And you battle out until there's no stocks left. It would be known that at times in crew battles where you would put me in and I'd get down to like my last stock and I would just start obliterating the competition. And when you go into a crew battle, you did your job if you just beat a player. So you take out 4 stocks. Great. Last stock Louie means I'm on my last stock and they just can't kill me. And I go through 1 player. I go through 2 players. I go through maybe almost 3 players. and then the chants start. Last Stock Louie. And you see it. You see the trembling. You see the one sweat come down the and it hits the controller, and they slip on the A button. And in that moment,
The misinput.
down tilt, fair, and another stock goes to Last Stock Louie.
Psych him out. Psych him out.
So I come out, and it made its way into singles competition too, where people would take the lead on me. I'd come down to my last stock. I think it's in the bag, and that thought soon turned into a memory.
Last Stock Louie.
That's right.
Wow.
And
Powerful energy here.
And you know, I asked some of the Melee TOs, like, what do I have to talk about when I have you on? And this came up with Kathleen as well, but I really need your side of the story. So do we want to watch Daisy? Do we want to watch a little bit of this documentary before we ask for Louie's opinion, or just get the question out first? How do you think we do this, Days?
Let's watch it.
Let's watch it.
Yeah,
Not just the heart of the game, but the heart of Indiana. Where are we?
Full bloom's important to the players.
Zane,
you know?
looking so
We have history
young.
Here.
Baby
Players
Zane.
like Zane came to full bloom.
Also, you were talking about. Oh, I paused at the right place. You were talking about that TO eat one meal and then stay awake on coffee. You look like you're about to fall asleep.
Right. And that's like, I would say we filmed that probably 3/4 of the day already.
Oh my God,
Actually,
yeah.
halfway.
It was crazy long into into the tournament already. You know.
Daisy, do you know the context of that? Like, this is filmed during the day of the tournament, and then gets edited and put on to our 30,000 viewers during the tournament.
I didn't realize it got edited and shown during the tournament. I knew it was recorded during the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think that detail stuck with me, but this is hysterical.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got Louie's face on the
Chat saying pink hoodie.
Pink hoodie is happening.
Bloom 4 placed well, and now he's at full bloom 5 with a renewed sense of purpose.
I could not point out where we are on a map if my life depended.
Baby Zane.
Dude, Zane is
Honestly,
such a good
it's
actor.
one of the most rewarding jobs in the world, but there are always bumps in the road. At Full Bloom 1, we ran PM. And then, at Full Bloom 2,
He's so good. He's so good.
He's great at this.
there was an incident.
I
When I
had to
decided
do,
to
like,
pick up
3 or 4
X with
cuts.
homemade waffles for Full Bloom 2, I decided to take us through
shout
4
out to
hours
Slime.
of
He helped me
traffic
get through that.
without going to the bathroom.
Let's go slime.
Go pick up Axe.
Do you know one episode we spent the whole episode live reacting YouTube videos, and Daisy and I cosplayed Ludwig and Slime?
It was pretty silly.
Daisy's slime was really good. Daisy has a really good slime.
So funny.
We're driving, and then like
there's
right when
my
we get
boy
to the
right
airport,
there.
I
He's
got
crazy,
pee.
man.
I'm
My
like,
boy.
I want you to go now. Like, it's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, all right, bro. So I go in the airport and find Axe, get Axe, right?
Once we hit where all the gas stations stopped, was when every cell in my body was telling me, I have to pee. I'm about to
That line.
Like, right
every
when
cell in
traffic
my
stops.
body.
Every cell in my body.
Every cell in my body. We've all been there too.
She's like, fuck, man, I gotta pee.
And then all of a sudden, like a bomb going off, it just happens.
One of the top comments is Vicious Laugh makes this whole video.
Right.
Oh fuck,
right.
oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, oh man, I can't believe this is happening.
And then he just pees himself right then and there in the driver's seat.
No, you're lying.
I respect that.
I pull over the side of the road, I get out, I
Right.
come to the off the side of the ramp, and just nothing comes out. It's all over my car already.
Yeah.
One detail. Let me share a detail. real quick.
Yes. Tell me the detail. This is why we're playing this with you.
So-
We need to
so-
hear the details.
So I'm pissed because I'm messaging Ian and I'm like, dude, where are you? Did you get Axe? Like, this is our VIP. Like, like
This is what I
This is a
want to
big
hear.
deal.
This is what I want to hear.
this is Full Bloom 2. And this is our first time spending money to fly somebody out.
Yeah.
We flew out homemade waffles, and Axe was and Lucky.
Oh, and Lucky,
And,
yeah. Oh, wow.
and
What
Axe was
a set that was. That was an amazing set.
Right. And it was a great set.
Oh my God.
It was a great set for Lucky too. And I'm like, dude, where are you? He's our VIP. We're trying to get things going. At the same time that's happening, we're having a crew battle. We're having a pre Full Bloom 2 party. And he finally shows up, and Gary, shout out to Gary, and Gary's just so funny. He's this perfect dry humor.
Is that Gunhaver?
Gunhaver, Gary, yeah. And he looks to Ian in the most serious face, and he has no idea what happened. He goes, "Did you shit yourself?" And Ian looks at him, and he's like, "I don't want to talk about it."
Oh my god!
And we still have no idea what happened, but he was so close.
I think
what
you
actually
know what
happened.
I think you know what happened.
He's like, "What?" And he's like, "Shit yourself." I don't want to talk about it. I didn't find out until the next day, and yeah, it wasn't a good situation. We could keep playing.
Let's keep rolling, yeah.
So I was in the backseat just freaking out, like, is this actually happening?
There's just this humongous fucking thing of piss. Pee.
I get
Humongous fucking thing of piss will haunt my nightmares. The way Waffles says that.
Yeah.
back inside, and helping Waffles and Ash trying to be nice. They're not trying to say anything. It's like, hey, it happens. Big deal. And then
It
they're just
happens.
saying, like, you know what?
No.
Like, this is gonna leave the car. Like, I know this is just.
No,
gonna
it
get
doesn't
Oh, that's my
happen.
guy.
It's
I love Ian. Like, I still
So
love Ian. to this
rare.
day. I'll never forget that shit.
I'm always thinking about it. Literally always.
Axe came to the next 2 full blooms. That was nice of him. They don't always come back. Ice still hasn't returned.
Oh, we don't have to linger on ice. This is sad. But okay, so where were you when you figured out what happened? Because you talked about Gary saying like oh, you should shit yourself. But when you actually figured out that 2 of the people you flew out to a tournament got picked up by someone who peed his pants in front of them, like where were you when you figured it all out?
I think the way I happened was Ian picked me up the next morning, and I was gonna sit in the passenger seat. I'd love to hear if he remembers how I found out. And he goes, "Yeah, you don't want to sit there." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, my whole car smells like piss and like this." I was something like that. I don't know.
Is this like is this to go to Dennys? Is this like 6 a.m. to go to
something like
Dennys?
that.
Oh my
Something
god!
like that, yeah. And then he kind of told me it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude!" It was all in hindsight. And, at that point, it already happened. Axe was there. I didn't care anymore, and it just turned into a joke after that.
Oh my god! Oh, it's a legend now.
Legend.
The chat
Lore.
the chat has popped off harder during the PPTO video than they have the whole stream.
I know. It's pretty
It's so
good.
funny. I remember Ian told me that Axe and Brandon were like, "Bro, you're lucky that of all the top players in the world, that we're the people experiencing this with you. Because if this was Mango, dude, he would have pulled out his phone. He would have took pictures of you and put it on
yeah.
Twitter.
Laughing
Dude,
would have
he
been
would've-
tweeting about it like, I can't believe I
he
come to
would've
America and people are peeing their
blasted you.
pants.
He's like, you are so lucky Mango is not in this car right now."
Oh my god, Mango would have ruined his whole career.
Yeah.
I mean, like that, or like get a mockumentary made about the experience.
Well, that's pretty lucky.
Oh my
That's
god.
pretty silly.
Oh. All right, Daisy, you want to do the honors on this last part here?
Yeah. I do. Louie, are you ready to play a game with us? It's not Melee, it's a different game.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever made a tier list before?
I'm sure. Most times we ask an academic this question, they're like, "No, what's the tier list?"
No.
I'm
What?
sure Louie's got us.
Have you made one?
I haven't made him.
Oh my
Whoa!
Whoa! Okay, awesome. Well, tier lists, as I'm sure you know, come from fighting games as a way to rank characters.
Listen to their
One
spiel
piece, blah, blah,
when they have to tell a tenured professor what a tier list is. Go off, Daisy. I want to hear.
Yeah,
I know
Yes,
what a
this is
tier
fun.
list is.
I know. I'm just making sure. the
Normally, this is the part where
chat
Daisy has
knows.
to tell the guest what a tier list is.
I'm just making sure the chat knows what a tier list is too. If you
And chat.
Most of you've seen our show. But yeah, tier lists come from fighting games. It's a way that people rank fighting characters, but usually on Twitch, and it's kind of popped off on the internet as a way to rank things of everyday life, which is what Folklore is so interested in.
Yes.
So, we designed a tier list especially for you. I'm sure this already existed.
We didn't design a tier list especially for you. I will say, normally we design a tier list especially for the guests because we're like, okay, what would X guest? What kind of tier list would they make? But
gave me fast food.
No, I should give you
fast
that. We gave you a classic though, Louie. I want your spiciest takes on the actual Melee tier list.
Oh man! All right. So, are you guys gonna move it for me?
I'm gonna move it for you. Yeah, you tell us. You tell us which way we're gonna go.
Always be, no matter. History doesn't change. Fox is number one.
Fox is top of S.
Fox
Oh
will
yeah,
always be
Fox the
number
broken character.
Let's go.
And Falco is gonna be number 2. Actually, no. Okay, I guess the spicy one's gonna be Jigglypuff is number 2.
Yeah.
Yes! Let's go!
Yes.
Then Falco.
And then Falco.
And then Falco. Actually, no. Marth after Jigglypuff.
Marth. Oh, I
Then
love.
Falco.
I love you for that. I love you for that. It's our mainstays, Jigglypuff and Marth.
I know. All these in S tier
And
because
yes.
we have. Okay.
No,
S
they're
tier.
this is us.
confirming.
This is us. This is us. Yeah.
This is S.
Yeah.
Just confirming.
And then I might. J-Mook's too good, man. He's making Sheik look too good, and I think J-Mook would say Sheik is better than Falco. I might have to make some alterations, but for now, let's go Sheik in front of Falco.
In front of Falco. Oh, we don't have a Sheik. We have a Zelda for that, but let's go.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's go A tier. Captain Falcon. Sorry,
Okay.
Captain Falcon. Captain
Yes.
Falcon's good, but not great.
Mm-hmm.
Peach.
Peach.
That's interesting because a lot of people can play Captain Falcon and are good, but there's really only a couple good Peach players right now.
Yeah.
Laud is really good
I love
right now.
Laud. Yeah.
But yeah, I like this so far. Now we get into the interesting kind of categories.
Let's get into it. Yeah, this
But
is
let's,
pretty.
Let's go.
These
there an F
these are
tier?
the top
No F
tiers.
tier?
We can make an F. We can make an F. You want
We
me to
can-
make an F?
No, we don't have to.
It's been precedented on the show to make an F tier if there's one that you just absolutely fucking hate.
Okay.
Worst ever. No chance. We can do that. It's pretty simple.
Every character has some level of viability, but this is where it's like really hard. So F is gonna be Pichu,
Pichu. All right.
and then actually worse than Pichu is Kirby,
Okay.
Holy shit.
and then actually in between Pichu and Kirby is Bowser.
All right. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jaden says Bowser tier.
Yeah, I would say. I know, just put the rest in F tier.
How dare you do that? How dare you do that
Let's
to
see.
Luigi?
I would maybe let's put Pikachu in B tier.
Okay.
Ganondorf next. Ice Climbers next. Maybe put Ice Climbers in front of Ganondorf.
Okay.
Maybe put Samus in front of Ice Climbers. Although there's like no Samus players right now, but I do think Samus is possibly better than Ice Climbers. Who we got here? Game & Watch in D tier.
Game and Watching
All right.
teacher. Yeah, chat wants to
Yeah,
know
chat
why
wants to know.
Kirby is at the bottom. Can you explain why Kirby is very, very, very
Kirby-
bad? Everyone's just saying Kirby is bad, but why is Kirby the worst?
Kirby is a floaty character, so you can kill Kirby pretty easily. Doesn't have their smash attacks are terrible. They have short hitboxes.
The little stubby arms.
The stubby arms, yeah. I mean, you could switch Kirby and Bowser, and I wouldn't say that's a big discussion, but yeah, they're pretty bad. Pretty bad.
And that
Kirby's
is
slow.
also
Kirby's
Jaded
really
December
slow.
brings up Kirby was really good in Smash 64, so Sakurai had to nerf his kid. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. Everyone
Yeah.
played Kirby in Smash 64.
Everyone
yeah.
played Kirby in Smash 64, and also Kirby's great in Smash 64. Kirby's by far the best in Smash 64. Also, the guy who does Smash is the creator of Kirby, so he is great in Smash 64, and then he's the protagonist of story mode in Ultimate. So he gets favorite son privilege sometimes. All right, let's keep building this. Let's keep
Ness,
building this.
Ness in front of Game and Watch. Actually, I would say.
Ness in
Actually,
front
no. Ness after Game and Watch.
I was gonna say you have to have
Yeah.
so much fucking.
Mewtwo in front of Game and Watch.
Okay.
DK in front of Mewtwo.
Okay.
I like this 'cause
Yoshi.
I love your
in front of-
method. It's so good.
Yoshi is probably a B tier character, but Yoshi's bad. I know Amsa's good, but Yoshi's actually a bad character. It's why Pikachu is also not like an A tier because
there's one
Pikachu's
Pikachu.
hard to play,
Yeah.
even though Axe is good at it. Yoshi.
Yeah, people
I
in
guess-
chat love your outside-in approach to building a tier list. I don't think anyone's done
I know,
this
I
before.
know. It's where my mind thinks.
Yeah.
Maybe Yoshi. Yoshi in front of Ice Climbers, maybe.
Whoa.
That's
Okay.
that's
okay.
a little controversial.
Okay,
but-
that's controversial, but I like it.
See, and this is what it is. It's like these are all mid-range characters now.
Mhm.
Roy in front of DK
In D tier.
in D tier. Roy's not bad. Roy's pretty good.
Roy
Roy's a
can
pretty
do
good
some
D
fun
tier.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after this, it's gonna be Mario in the C tier.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Mario
After Mario.
after Mario. Luigi.
Luigi
This
where?
is tough. After Dr. Mario, I
You're
guess.
you're
But
putting
no,
Luigi
no, in
that
front of
low?
Dr. Mario.
You're putting Luigi.
front of
You're
Dr.
putting
Mario.
Luigi under Mario.
All right, put Luigi in front of Mario.
Okay.
Hey, Dom, you are influencing the guests' wishes.
Luigi,
this
Luigi,
is biased
look,
content.
Okay, here's the thing about Luigi with the experience of playing Luigi.
Chad is also saying, why
watch-
is Mario above Luigi? Come on.
If you ever watch top players play Luigi and you think, wow, they look great. I want to glide all over the stage and do all these fast moves. And then you pick up the controller to play Luigi, it's like, it doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
Like, you can't do any of it. Luigi's a very weird character to play.
You know what it is? You know what it
And-
is? I was like at Big House for a bait S2J. So like Luigi's a god in my eyes.
Luigi's, but see, that's because Abate is so
Because
good.
Abate is carrying Luigi. Abate in fucking
I
Eddie
think-
Mexico.
see,
Yeah.
This is like, this list is where you have to balance potential and actual results.
That's right.
I like it. I
Ganondorf-
like it.
Ganondorf, I think, is more viable than Luigi. Like, I think, sure, there's a couple players that play Luigi who are really good, and less players that do that with Ganondorf, but I think Ganondorf is a better character. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Last two are the links.
Yeah, maybe Young Link in front of maybe Link and then Young Link
Where?
in C.
Link and then Young Link. Like that.
Might switch Dr. Mario and Mario.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, Dr. Mario's pretty good. Okay. I'm alright with it.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
hey.
James, you're not gonna get your dream tier list.
Oh, James
But it's
wants
good.
James wants normal
James always wants
distribution.
James always wants normal distribution, but not this time, James.
I feel very confident about S and A. I think those are
It's good.
really where they should be.
It's
at.
even
It gets
Falco so far away from Fox is a little spicy, but makes me, as a Mark
Falco
guy, makes
used-
me very happy.
Mango would love that. Mango would say, "Yeah, Falco sucks." I think Mango would love to say that, but Falco used to be up there in my opinion, but with the recent meta and Jigglypuff, Marth, and Zelda,
Yeah.
and Sheik, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's Falco's not that great. Mango is a really good Falco, but it's hard. It's hard as Falco.
Who's the second best Falco right now? Ginger?
I would probably say somebody like Magi.
Oh, sure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then maybe Ginger after that.
Magi and Ginger. Yeah, that's a big, but I'm saying that's a big drop.
Yeah, I mean,
Results wise.
they're top 20 players.
They're top
but yeah.
20, but yeah, it's not like.
Hey, Mango was ranked number 11, right?
Not anymore.
Yeah. So I like this.
I like this too. Daisy, do you have a way to tie it together? Do you have a way you want to tie it together?
Hey, wait. Real quick.
What?
Zelda would be F tier. And
Oh,
Zelda
this is
would
chic.
be-
This is chic. We know.
Yeah, Zelda would probably be. Ooh, Zelda's bad.
Zelda without
Probably
chic
not.
is
Zelda would
probably
probably be between Bowser and Kirby.
Oh, between Bowser and Kirby. Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to tie this together because Jigglypuff and Kirby look so similar, yet are such different distributions.
Oh, I got one for you. Here is
I don't know, like, go.
Louie PhD Louie Limas's official Melee tier list on a scale from Fox to Kirby. On a scale from Fox to Kirby, how much work have you had done on your legs? Fox got those metal legs, baby. That's why he's S tier. Kirby got stubby little legs. Fox has got two iron prostheses.
I was gonna say, how pointy is your mane?
Yeah, it's about points. I mean,
But
don't look
it's
at
not,
Jigglypuff.
because
Jigglypuff's got ears. Pointy ears. Pointy ears.
Jigglypuff has more points than Kirby, but not in the way it pans out over the whole distribution. Anyway, how pointy is your mane?
How pointy?
How mechanical is how beefed out are
How
your
mechanical are your legs? Pointiness versus curviness. We could discuss that. How many polygons? That is true. Fox, the most Thank you. Who is that? Katie Sweepy? Thank you. How polygonal is your mane?
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that we've reached the end of our interview, and there's only
That was awesome.
one thing. There's only one thing left to do.
Oh.
Chat. One thing left for
me
Louie to
clicking?
do, and that
Do you
is.
hear me clicking?
Yes, I hear you clicking. Louie, if you've got anything to plug while chat is wishing you a hearty GG, but chat, while Louie's doing this, if you're a subscriber, spam ladders in chat for Louie. Louie, where can people find you on the internet if they want to see more?
I don't really have any public social media.
Nowhere. At a Smash tournament in San Diego.
I have a professional website if you need therapy.
Okay.
And by the way,
In California.
In California. By the way, here's a fun bringing it full circle. You know what's the name of my private practice?
Is it Melee? That would be wild. What?
Full Bloom Counseling.
There we
No
go.
way! That's so
There
cool.
we go.
You could throw up the website if you want.
Full Bloom Counseling.
FullBloomCounseling.net.
Want to find Louie? Don't. FullBloomCounseling.net. See you at a.
I'm on LinkedIn. I never check it. I'm on LinkedIn.
See you shaking hands with who was it, with J-Mook?
Fist bumping with J-Mook.
Fist bumping with, of course.
I didn't want to
bump.
risk getting him sick, man.
That's right. Of course, it's the
my
fist
gosh.
bump. It's the melee fist bump.
The Guts folks are so funny. You all are being hysterical in the chat. Nowhere. Don't look for him. Mind your own business.
Well,
conversation has come full bloom.
I guess the last thing is, Louie, can you still do a handstand?
Oh my god.
Yes, but I probably shouldn't do it anymore. It's the space is too small. I'll probably put a hole in the drywall.
That would kind of suck.
And I got shorts on, and the shorts ride down.
I know what you mean.
Just make sure. Yeah, you just want to. Yeah.
All right. Here's the proof.
Oh my god. Stark says no, Johns.
I'm sorry.
No patties.
I hear your patties. No, Johns.
Quotes have had meaning on many levels. Making quotes helped me to get a sense of my own space, sense of finding my way, sense of really working my way out of the labyrinth.